I think we're still kind of growing into our identity, and trying to work out the kinks. And so I think that, it was a learning experience for us. And obviously, it's great when you can learn from a win, So just trying to get better going into this week.
Garrett, it's going to be important for you guys to start off, especially SEC play 1-0, especially going up against a Florida team that also has a really good quarterback. Just what have you seen from them, and how are you preparing for a team like Florida?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, obviously, a really good team. And, anytime LSU and Florida play, there's a lot of hatred, and they're going to come here expecting to try and get a win. And so we're definitely preparing that way. I think we had a great day of practice today, and hopefully to continue that into the week. And, we're ready for this. We're excited for this opportunity. SEC play, was something we've been waiting on, for 6 months. And so very, very exciting. As we said all offseason, we're looking to go 1-0 again. So.
Do you see any similarities from this Florida defense from last year, what played in the swamp?
Yeah.
I think they got you 5 times. Do you see any similarities, or are they pretty different?
Yeah, no, I won't share too much into what we're thinking, but obviously, a very good defense, same defense we played last year, and obviously different players and things like that. But it's an opportunity that we're looking forward to. Obviously a really good team and a really good program with a really good defense. So.
You mentioned the identity of the offense. What do you guys want the identity of the offense to be?
Yeah. I think it's more of just we're continuing to work and kind of show who we are. I don't know that I necessarily want to put a label on what we are. I think that, we'd rather just do the talking on the field, and you guys can label us whatever you'd like, I think that's kind of our mindset. And so just correcting the mistakes, and as I said, it's a great opportunity to be able to learn from a win. So.
How important is it for you guys to be balanced and complementary in the running pass game this week?
Yeah, I would say that's probably not a question for me. I guess if you asked me, we'd throw it every play. Coach Sloan has done an unbelievable job of kind of mixing that and hiding tendencies and things like that. So I guess we'll see.
Garrett, Aaron Anderson, he missed most of fall camp. He battled a couple nagging injuries, but he's been great the first 2 weeks. What's it like having a guy like that, a guy that you built chemistry with a year ago, kind of as your returning guy going into the season?
Yeah, he's done an unbelievable job thus far, obviously. He was able to make plays for us big time in week 1, and he made some plays the other night as well. And so, obviously, we all know what Aaron is. He's a great football player, somebody that I look to in times of need, and he can do special things with the ball in his hand. So it's just about giving him opportunities to make plays.
Trey Dez, it seems like won't play in this game. Obviously, you don't know right now, but if you don't have him in your arsenal, just your confidence in other weapons
yeah.
with the ball.
Yeah, obviously we got a lot of players that can make plays, and I've said that all offseason, how versatile our offense is, and so and Bauer obviously is going to have to do a good job stepping up, and I think he will, and we have other guys that can make plays. So of course we'll miss Trey Dez. He's a great football player, but we got a lot of guys on our team that can make plays.
Speaking of guys who make plays, obviously we've seen a lot of Aaron, a lot of Xavier in the early games this season. How important is it to get Chris Hilton involved and Barry and Brown more in the pass game, and just get those guys going early, knowing that Florida might be game planning for a heavy Aaron Anderson game, heavy Xavier Thomas game?
Yeah. Well, I think for one, just trying to work on our offense in general as a whole, just clicking, will create more opportunities for everybody, and so as I said before, just focused on the mistakes that we made in the game, trying to improve in that area, and obviously continue to spread the ball around.
How would you describe Florida's defense stylistically, and can you talk about the importance of being able to make adjustments from week to week because every team plays you different?
Yeah, it is true. Every team that we see on tape tends to play us a little differently, and so that's been a challenge for us, and that's nothing new. It was the same way last year, and so it's something that's exciting for me as a quarterback. Having to make in-game adjustments and things like that. And Florida's obviously a very good defense, as I said before, and somebody that's going to challenge us, and so very, very much looking forward to this opportunity.
Garrett, I know as a quarterback, offensive line's your best friend. Just how would you describe the depth in that room, knowing that you'll have somebody new that's snapping the ball?
Yeah, well, it's technically somebody new, but DJ started every game for us last year. So, I played 12 games with that guy, and so I'm not worried one bit, And if Braden can play, then he can play. If not, then he can't, and DJ will step up, And so I have no worries in that area. I have full trust in those guys. We have a lot of depth in that room, a lot of guys that can play a lot of different positions. So no worries there.
Coach Kelly all preseason kind of talked about you guys wanting to run the ball better than you did a year ago. We kind of knew about Caden Durham coming into the season, but Humbleberry had a really good game on Saturday against Tech. How important is it to build that depth behind a guy like Durham?
Yeah. Obviously, CD's done a great job this year, and I think we've been very, very good at establishing the run game thus far, and I think we've made it a point of emphasis. I think in that Clemson game, you saw us really dominate the line of scrimmage at times, and I think we were plus 100 rushing yards or whatever it was, and to be able to have a run game like that is huge for me as a quarterback, and us as an offense, just being able to be balanced and do different things throughout a game, and so yes, it is important also as well to have depth in that room, and so Caden has done an unbelievable job not only for himself, but also leading those guys along with him. And Harlem and Caleb and Jawan have all done a great job stepping up.
2 more. Garrett, obviously the pageantry of this whole game, Saturday night, national TV, gold game, all the things, rivalry. What do you like about this LSU-Florida rivalry? That you played in it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Florida Gators. I think I've made that pretty evident throughout my time here. So it's an awesome opportunity. It's a great team, obviously a great program, very storied rivalry, very storied team that we're playing, and so I just can't wait to get in Death Valley, and feel that environment. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Last one.
We've seen it in flashes and Barron's touchdown they've taken off the board, but what will it take to consistently open up that vertical passing game?
Yeah, I think it's just trying not to push, trying not to get caught up in that type of mindset, just taking what they give me, and eventually teams will start opening up and let it happen naturally, I guess you could say. Just right now we're just focused on what we can do this week, trying to get better and learn from the lessons that we had last week.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Garrett.
Appreciate it.